society, but there is only one solution for Britain: mass deportations and remigration of those people that do not belong here. And in order to do that, you're talking about 1.2 million forecasted illegals.
Piers, can I quickly ask you about the protest this evening?
Well, if this is the digital ID protest, am I right?
This is the anti-digital ID protest. Why have you come along tonight?
Well, on Fighting for Freedom, we have a Prime Minister who is in a bit of a muck right now. He was rhetorically on the right to win over Reform voters, but when he noticed that wasn't going to win, he needed to be seen as the new Labour leader, this sort of Blairite figure.
So what happened at the migrant home? What happened with the migrants?
So in April 2025, I was beat up, robbed and nearly killed by illegal immigrants.
Where was that? In Birmingham?
Birmingham in Dudley High Street.
Okay, what happened? Like,
when he finds out his kid slapped someone up for hitting him. Proud dad.
Listen, someone's going to hit you. You fucking make sure they don't do it again, right?
That's the one. Big up Bear and his great parents.
so if anything happens, you'll obviously see it in a second. So welcome to London. Over here, there's Thingy. What, lad? No change, is it?
Yeah, man.
Okay. No, because I was hoping you guys would, and then I was told this morning. That's what I was thinking. So the only way we're going to have to do it is we're going to have security kind of surround it.
And you haven't got a little stage bit?
No, so a stage, in terms of a stage, we are hiring one for the next event.
Yeah.
But I had 2 weeks to sort this one out. 2 weeks is not enough time, so fencing a stage or anything like that is just too much work, isn't it? So yeah, that's what we're doing for now.
Okay, you're going to use the steps and the Monty steps, yeah?
But it's not like a march.
You've got stewards or people?
Yeah, we've got stewards for 5 minutes.
Perfect, so they'll keep that bit sterile for you?
Yeah. We've got security and all that as well.
If it's contained
exactly.
you might have a few cops along here just in case you get confused from dogs, whatever. I
mean, to be fair, like the left wing groups are getting on with us.
I've got no intel that anyone's coming.
Yeah, it's got to be an interesting dynamic. I want to see what's going to happen with that.
Well, left and right might unite in this issue.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I've got 2 to 500 is your estimate, is that right?
2 to 500, yeah.
And you think you'd be done by half
8, roughly, yeah.
Cool. How many speakers, roughly?
There's about 6, 7 speakers.
Okay, cool. That's all your PA?
Just confirm there, no conditions.
There's no conditions.
Alright, cool.
And like I say, if it's most of the processes I do here that get contained in there, never get conditions. Well, I can't promise you there will be none, but I'm saying most of the time, when they're in there and they're contained, there's no conditions.
Well, police their own demo, so what I will ask is if you see any scuffles kicking off or anything like that, please let me know, and then we can handle it, right? No, we're trying to keep this peaceful, so any issues that you see, come to us, yeah?
Well, we're here all day as well,
Right, cool. Alright, cheers guys. No, we're all good now. We'll see you at 6.
How many people you expect? DP audits, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know who you are, bruv. How you doing, man? Yeah, we're gonna
nice to see you again.
Hello, are you okay? Sorry, I'm distracted by the bed.
The
barricade.
for a quick pint up there, or?
I'm driving, but I'll certainly come for a drink.
Yeah, nice.
There's no more Just Stop Oil protests. Why? Because they were using Just Stop Oil to wind us up. So when they put that through, we're saying fuck Just Stop Oil.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be the hotels, because that's a regular thing. It's going to be United the Kingdom, that's a regular thing. These things, it's regular things. Anything that's more than twice, they're going to stop it. That's tyranny, bro.
Tyranny, yeah. They get.
Tyranny,
what about
man.
our freedom of expression and our rights to protest? But Labour bang on about Human Rights Act, but they don't mind fucking around with it when it suits them like they do now.
Rights lawyer.
Yeah, no.
Human rights lawyer, he knows it inside out.
I think they know they're on the way out and they're just going out without a fight and just being evil at this point and just doing it to be pricks.
Well, that's why they're fucking.
And making reform's job as possible if they're going to get in.
If you can stop the voting, then they're going to be in for a long time.
Yeah, Farage is really scared of them, I think. They're really scared. Well, they've got to try and shit. Yeah.
You know what Farage is about? He's got Liberal Democrats, he's got Labour, he's got Tories, he's got all sorts of people in there. They know what he's about. If he wins, it's all right. He's another shill in the estate.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the problem, man.
That is the problem. And Listen, I'm a UKIP man. I'm a UKIP member. I speak for them as well. So, for UKIP being the only party that is always said you're not going to do nothing, they don't discredit Nick.
I really like Nick.
You don't see the newspaper saying, "Oh, Newcastle." They said about Advance UK, far right people. They didn't really say it about, you know, the 2,000-3,000 that was marching. They didn't really say much. So don't discredit him. Don't put him on mainstream media. Don't do nothing with him. But everyone else, like Farage, is like, "Oh, you're the far right." So they know if people will vote for Farage, it's fine because he's establishment. He's the right type of far right. And if you're further than Farage, then you're an extremist.
Right, I get called a white supremacist a lot.
Anyone's further than Farage, because Farage is a countryside Tory. That's it, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Do you not think someone like a Nick's best chance though would be maybe if Reform get in and then mess up, then go at them as the alternative again then? Because Nick's still young. My thing, I know, but I do think Nick's still quite young. And if you look at politicians, it is a real long game. And I think there is room for Nick definitely in the future more. I think now getting Labour and Tories out, it just as a statement from the public's important. But if he does fuck up,
who you do?
I'd want Rupert to go in and just be raised.
Rupert's the only person.
I'd love Rupert to go in.
I'd support that.
If I was,
yeah, good to see you.
What I'd do personally, if I was, I would have him leave, Rupert leave Reform, go and finish chatting. What I'd personally do is, once I'd got in, because you've got to get in first, as you know, that's the issue, isn't it? Beating the mainstream, getting in. I'd just bring Rupert back if I was Nigel and let him go and be the Home Secretary and deal with it all. That'd be simple. He's already been spending shit, but he takes it away from that.
That's what we do.
Get Rupert to start putting the boot in, seeing a bit everybody. You know what I mean?
Rupert's he's the only person that would be happy.
Got ball. Do you know what I loved about it? Just the fact he's got the balls to stand out and speak. Do you know what I mean? Like that at that level. I know you speak in that.
Everyone's got the balls to speak. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? Everyone's still gaslit between Advance UK and Reform UK. It's still gaslit.
It does worry me that's divided.
If you want to get your country back, the only guy that is on the streets with the people
is me.
We come, yeah.
3 security guards, at the United Kingdom march, 3 security, He wasn't even in the media bit, to lean over and shake hands. He was at the back. He stayed at the back. I know that, because I know security, right? He was in the back, he stayed at the back, that was it. He's not a man of the people.
Well, we're auditors, so
Nick is like, I don't care.
To me and him, Nick turns up, like, he sort of does a little bit what we do, like the auditing side, but he just rocks up here.
I've said this, like, he's the only one on the ground, week in, week out, or thereabouts.
Exactly.
He's the only one that's bothered to go over to Calais and show us what's going on at the migrant camps over in Calais.
I can get him arrested.
No one else is going to do that. You're not going to find anyone else. No other future leader is ever going to do what Nick's done.
Tommy Robinson! Go! Tommy Robinson!
All right, son.
Look. Is he deliberately riding up and down? He's there just trying to wind people up. Palestine protesters are trying to wind everybody up, but we're actually at the ID march.
Anyway, here we are. Everybody's starting to go now.
That has represented the UK with real radical change, and that's with the Brexit vote. And now people are going to say that it was Farage, but where would Farage be without a party? So it's mainly the party, and he was the spokesperson, which is good. But we are there for the people. We have consistently been there for the people. And Nick Tinconi, he is at every single rally. He is wherever he can be, he will be there with the people. So ask yourself this: would you rather somebody who's with the people, or would you rather someone who's maybe got a lot of money in Silicon Valley, or he's got a big donor like Farage? Or would you like someone who is from the streets, with the streets, and ready to support you? That's where everyone should be supporting UKIP at every opportunity you can. And people are going to say, well, UKIP are not going to do this and that. Look at your community. Would your community do with what UKIP's values are. Christianity, making sure law and order is law and order, putting the British people first, kicking out the people who are here illegally in the hotels, starting to remigrate people. Would your area benefit from that? If it does, then UKIP's the only people to vote for, because they're the only one from 2 years ago that said this is the manifesto.
Lovely, cheers, mate.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Cheers,
Thank you very
mate.
much.
Man, well done, Dan.
Thank you.
Audacity, well, Cardinal Nichols has backed her.
Really?
Yeah, he's the boss of the Catholic Church. He's the boss of the Catholic Church. Guys, when we talk about taking our country back and getting back into the parishes, back in the churches, your good decision making doesn't end there. You still have to get into the right parish. You still must discover the truth. You can't just sit in one parish and get indoctrinated and jump from parish to parish and keep getting indoctrinated. We solve the Islamification problem by all the things I just said with regards to personal responsibility, but there is only one solution for Britain: mass deportations and remigration of those people that do not belong here. And in order to do that, you're talking about 1.2 million forecasted illegals. You're talking maybe 5 to 10 million people who are going home. You do the math on how many flights and ships that is a day. It's going to get very nasty in the UK, and you're going to need a wartime leader who isn't going to back down from the fight.
That's you, Nick. How are you going to do with wokeism in school, and particularly the indoctrination of the young to all this woke ideologies, which are, raising a new generation of all these into all these weird ideologies? How would you deal with the education system?
Sure, so it's the same answer with regards to when someone says about our institutions, our civil service, our NHS is a fantastic example. It's very simple, guys. In life, sometimes you need to create something new, sometimes you need to stop the rot, you need to take the cancer, you need to stop the rot and take the cancer out, sometimes you need to make tweaks, you need to make changes. Essentially, our mechanisms and setup are fine. We don't small C conservatives, we want small government, so there's an element of ripping stuff out that doesn't need to be there, laws that need to be repealed. But ultimately, things can stay where they are. What we must do is rip out the far left rot. What we must do is rip out the communistic cancer. What we must do is rip out the toxicity. Radical Marxists transing our kids. Radical Marxists declaring war on Christianity by spouting anti-Christian
and leaving
rhetoric.
our white kids behind, man.
The demonising of patriots, the demonising of social conservatives, the demonising of the indigenous white population.
They're falling behind it.
The bastardisation of our history. All of these guerrilla warfare tactics are communistic in orientation. So, do we close down the schools? No. Do we rip out education? No. We take the far left extremists and you do a variety of things, like you prescribe them, you make it illegal. If you're caught teaching or being part of a far left organisation, you'll go to jail. There's no consequences for these Marxists at the moment. Under a UKIP government, as is pointed out in our manifesto, there in black and white, you will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. You will be going to jail.
So would you prescribe communism then, yeah?
To be absolutely clear, to say the words I didn't use is to prescribe communism. You're talking about prescribing an ideology.
Yeah, no,
so let's be very clear. The gentleman is correct, but we're not authoritarian.
Yeah.
Now, I did politics, philosophy, and international relations, and I learned about Marxism, realism, liberalism. So it's not like you can't teach about it, and you can't teach about the horror in history.
Yeah.
So it's not about prescribing the ideology. It's about
challenging it.
It's about punishing those who dare try and subvert our culture and the minds of our youth to an anti-Christian, anti-British agenda. That is the precise wording the Patriots need to use. Once you know something, you have confidence when you walk forward with it as an activist. So that's really important.
Yeah, Nick, well said.
If people want to join, should people join UKIP? If they're interested in finding out more about you, what should people do?
So believe it or not,
where can people join up?
Yeah.
How do you join?
Believe it or not, on the socially conservative right-wing scene, the battle that I've got that's the hardest is answering that question. Because the socially conservative right, for so very long, have said, we've done quite well out of this. It was called 2.4 nuclear family for a reason. We all know now about birth fertility rates.
1.4 now.
It turns out that 2.4 expression, which was a very famous sitcom back in the 90s, it turns out that was actually a very important marker, not just a clever sitcom. It's very simple. Shouting at offence. It's very.
How can people join you, Nick?
It's very simple. Right now, we've got a real life example of what I'm talking about. We've got people shouting going into the air and the organisers pulling them back. We got outraged, we've got disgust. Go to ukip.org, become a member of UKIP. The socially conservative right-wing scene doesn't even know that that's 101 of what you need to be doing. Labour have got 300,000 members, Reform 220,000 members. The Tories still have about 100,000 members. Every single person who has seen my social media clips, every single person who has met me in person, who has decided to become an activist, they are brand new to politics. They have no clue where to start. Join UKIP and become a member of the party today, then you've got a shot at standing as a candidate. You've got a shot at becoming part of the purple tidal wave, which is going to take our country back. But if you are still not someone who understands their political ideology, if you are still someone who is not a member of a party, you're not taking anything back.
I've got the song We Want Our Country Back. That's the one. I got it. Okay. I can play that. Okay. Well, that's Nick. And I'm a big fan of Nick. Whatever. I think he's a great guy. And go to UKIP if you're interested in politics. And let's thank you so much. God bless you.
Keep up the good work, you.
Cheers, mate.
That's mate, how you doing? You alright?
Good, yeah.
Good, man.
Got Martin Gauci, go follow him on X, TikTok, everywhere.
Big builders in the house. Here we go. Did you get yourself in a bit of trouble lately, in ya?
I always do, mate. Yeah. No, I like to try and force a bit of debate out of the lefties. I'm getting better at it as I'm getting along.
Have you spoke to Piers Corbyn?
Yeah, I spoke to him earlier.
Yeah, he's alright.
Piers is alright, yeah.
Yeah, he don't rise to debate though. He's actually alright. Things like this, he's pretty good. But it's a way of saying to say, I'm just speaking to Dave Atherton. This is where the likes of the left and the right can come together on this one thing.
Well, I said with the digital ID, the main thing for me is it's just very anti-English. We've always had freedoms, been the first country to fight for freedoms. This is taking our freedoms away, in my opinion, and it's unacceptable. I think it's insulting to us as English people in our nation. We built this, our forefathers built this nation to be free, not for these dickheads to take all that freedom away from us.
We've been invaded by the back door already. This invasion of illegal migrants and like this sort of Operation Scout. And now we're being invaded from the government. We've been invaded from...
Look what they're doing with the protests now, Martin, It's slight. Are they really going to be able to stop the 50,000, 100,000 Palestine marches? That's the one every week when they do it. No, because they ain't going to be able to arrest that many people. But they can stand that aside of a protest at a hotel and afford to nick 30, 40, 50 people. A lot easier, That's why they're using the Palestine ones, I think, that excuse to stop the hotels and migrants by bringing what they brought in yesterday.
I completely agree. As soon as I saw that, that's the first thing I saw.
That's attack for the right, slightly.
When she used the term repeat protest, that's definitely, that's got to be somewhere stationary. That's like literally going on every weekend out of the,
What do we do? Find a loophole and move up 50 metres every time?
Well, they just remain peaceful. You know what I mean? That's all you've got to do. Because at the end of the ones that I've been to, I know Epping there has been a couple of
moments,
but in all, well, you've been down to Epping yourself. But all in all, it's pretty peaceful.
The only thing that's not peaceful mainly when I'm there is me arguing with them. But apart from that,
I think, I've found, I know this sounds biased because I've got a bit of beef with the police at the moment. Is the police I find are the ones that are making the aggro, agitating a lot of the protesters. Journalists there. I think this overreach of Section 14 is just... It's
well overreach.
Been doing my head in. They've done it to me here again, twice in a week now. They've done it to me last Sunday at Epping, done it to me here on Wednesday. The thing is, what do you do? Do you become... I could either answer back to them and get myself arrested, even though I'm in the right, but then it doesn't look good on the protest.
And then they'll bail condition you and you can't go to any.
So it's no point. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm a peaceful person.
I think they are attacking freedom of protest though.
Yeah.
They're starting to attack it.
Have you been around here long? Have you been much?
I've been here early. We got here early, to be fair. But yeah, that's Martin. Go check him out everywhere. Martin Gauci, Gaugi.
Audience in the house, mate.
Big up. ID protest.
Please, can I quickly ask you about the protest this evening?
Well, if this is the digital ID protest, am I right?
This is the anti-digital ID protest. Why have you come along tonight?
Well, because I'm opposed to digital ID, and I'm going to speak and point out to people that they're trying every trick in the book. For example, in Hammersmith, they're already rolling out visual recognition by cameras for the whole borough, and that is building the infrastructure before it's happened, right? Before there's a law. So we're going to go there on Friday, 12 noon, King Street Council office and protest about that. But the other thing is, I think people need to think about all the tricks they're playing. You see, they'll try anything, any excuse to bring in the idea. First thing they said is, oh, we'll stop the boats. Well, of course, there's nothing. There's not a single boat. Next thing they're talking about is make it easy to complain about potholes. Well, you find out the council about potholes, end of story, you know. But I think the biggest danger, and I'll raise this with people outside the Labour conference, is they're going to try and smuggle it in saying you'll have rights. It'll be DG with rights. And some groups are saying this, Together are saying that. But look, they shouldn't say that, that's nonsense. So that's the sort of thing controlled opposition say, smuggle it in and then take away the rights. And I said this to Labour Party members going in, and they understood completely, because they know that's the game their own councils do. So that's what I'm saying, that is the main danger. We are against DGID, period. That's it. We don't want any rights connected, because that's just a con to get us involved.
So everyone here this evening is on the same page, but I've spoken to people around the country about this who they actually just don't really care. What would you say to them to try and get them on board and say, look, you should care because it's going to affect you because...
Yeah, okay. When you say break your carbon footprint, spend too much, or your meat ration, because they'll try meat rationing, all sorts of stuff, because they want people to stop eating meat and eat cockroaches instead or something, I don't know. They will then cut off your money, because it will be automated money, and that is the main tool they've got, is automated money, or programmable money. So what we have to do is go to institutions now that are not taking cash and say, look, if you won't take cash, we're going to boycott. Or walk in, take the object, give the cash and walk out, which is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Great fun.
What about...
And finally, is there any benefit that you could actually see with digital ID, or do you think it's 100% bad?
Well, it's 100% bad because it's a cover. Look, obviously, it might be easier to, I don't know, contact the council or something. But you see, you've got ways of doing that already. So it's just a cover. See, everything they do is sold as convenience, which is, of course, the point we make on this district. You see, it's so convenient. If something's convenient, we know there's a cover. For example, they said the vax is safe to save your life. Well, no, it didn't. They're saying MMR jabs are just in case something for children. Well, it causes autism. So they'll always come up with a reason for it, which is no, I'm for completely against it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, Piers.
Piers, do you not think it's just very anti-English as well? The fact
that is true too.
Because we've all freedom, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you know what we're saying? Definitely anti-English.
I think it goes against our freedoms and what we've been as people for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I could have said that as well, but
because it's just like, I think it's disrespectful to us as people and our history, just saying, oh, we're going to force this on you and keep a complete eye on you. We're meant to be a free country, not but anyway, nice to meet you, Piers.
Always a pleasure to see you.
So, the next one, Friday, Hammersmith at the
Hammersmith doing another one of these protests against digital ID.
Yeah. Specifically, what they're planning with all these cameras.
Yeah.
They've got facial recognition cameras. They're going to put them everywhere.
What do you think about what they're doing with the protest as well now? They're saying about this banning the protest.
Oh, that's terrible.
Do you reckon it's because I don't see how they're going to stop 50,000 Palestinian protesters when they do the big marches. They can't arrest everybody, but do you think it's more of a sly ploy to stop the hotel things as well? Because they can arrest 30 people. They can arrest 30 people at a hotel a lot easier.
To argue about that and hopefully forget about hotels.
Yeah, that's it.
We should carry on outside the hotels.
Yeah.
Because in the UK, well, there's a very simple solution to port. It's not difficult. It's something that us conspiracy theorists have been screaming about for years. She also mentioned COVID passes. Well, did you know the Nazis had something called the Gesundheit pass? It's got a health passport, exactly the same thing. But I'm going to welcome the stage now to someone that you may all know very well, and that is Nick Tenconi, the leader of UKIP.
Go on, Nick.
Louder. I think it's dusk. It's night time. It's a good job I got blessed with good eyes. What a fantastic crowd. Give yourself a round of applause, everyone. You've come out.
Brilliant
I might just
stuff.
camp here. I might just live here and move in here because all his speeches are happening from here. So look, we know that we know that he's not going to listen. He doesn't care. Did you guys know that Keir Starmer wants to bring in digital ID to stop the boats?
I knew he was a wanker.
Oh shit!
Maybe the Navy might help, you know?
We might as well laugh about it, guys. We know what's coming, right? And there's a chance he might be listening as well. My activist team and I have done more to stop the boats in only a matter of days, funded with only a few quid and armed with a set of balls than any establishment party has ever done over the last 2 decades. You know when Starmer's lying, don't you? His lips move.
Yeah. You can't lie straight in bed.
Now to the subject of tyranny. I remember around 5.5 years ago, I was told when I could and couldn't go out. I was told when I could and couldn't work. I was told I would have to get a loan, and I was asked to pay interest on that loan to survive. I was told to stand 2 meters away from my fellow citizens, and I was asked to clap at the sky. I observed glorious sunshine and blue skies never before seen in England, fairly consistently for what seemed like endless months, and every single news piece, absolutely everywhere, was far left propaganda telling me that all white, straight Christian men were bad and were the source of all evil, and that the left, the Islamists and non-whites could behave however they wanted, whenever they wanted, as long as it was in the name of fighting oppression, standing up to racism, objecting to our history, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, their ace in the hole, fighting for minority rights. As a blue-blooded conservative, it is in my nature to not trust the government. After the lockdown files, not only does my inertia tell me not to trust the government, but also to not believe a word they say. It has been made so demonstrably clear that the political agenda is far left and totalitarian in orientation. I am on record as saying we have clearly been living under left-wing fascism for so very long in modern Britain. Frankly, it's one of the most depressing political topics I have to engage in. Britain has been under left-wing authoritarian rule for decades. The ugly truth is that the vast majority of social conservative voters still don't understand this. There is only one hope. There is only one way out. The solution is but one. You must become a political activist. You must become a party member. You must stand and win as a candidate in your area, and you must contribute to returning a parliamentary majority in the general election, and put me in place in that building over there. Put me in place as your country's leader, and I swear, Patriots, on everything that's holy, I will declare war on the deep state. I will declare war on our corrupt government. I will declare war on far left extremists. extremism, communism and Islamofascism, as well as beginning mass deportations and remigration of those people who do not belong here. In the spirit of fairness, let us ask ourselves, Patriots, what is digital ID for? My first instincts remind me that I have a national insurance number, a passport, a tax code, a unique tax reference, and probably about 50 other forms of identification. NHS number.
Everything.
My instincts tell me that when I was hunting invaders in northern France, these people travelled 2,500 miles, jumping from country to country, and our governments have no issue with this and with spending and offering our taxpayer cash to welcome and support them. I notice also the establishment refuses to deploy the military into the channel to intercept and destroy the boats. Keir Starmer, tell me again that digital ID is designed to stop the boats, you lying scumbag.
It's literally gaslighting to the max.
Recently, my accountant emailed, and I've got a very good relationship with him, even though he's my accountant. He emailed me telling me I had to confirm my identity to the revenue. Now, for those of you who aren't self-employed, we tend to refer to the Inland Revenue in a derogatory sense, so we call them just the revenue. Self-employed people will know full well these people are basically a mafia and live to ensure you and I comply or are heavily fined. Like many British institutions, the revenue is not only incredibly well financed, but also has endless resource. They are a state asset and are in no way a friend of what built Britain, and describes the rags to riches story perhaps the best. That's the story of the family-run and owned SME. That's the small medium enterprises, guys. The start-up businesses. I believe he said the digital app is called One Login, and it is a gov.co.uk product. Now, I have been told in no uncertain terms that should I not verify my ID through this app, heavy fines will follow and that there is no escape. So let us now turn our heads to what the purpose of digital ID is as described by the government. The government have said the following: the card can be used to identify yourself to law enforcement. What do we think of that?
I already know where we are.
The government have said the following: the card can be used to identify yourself to law enforcement. Do you mean like a driving license? Do you mean like facial recognition? The government have said the card gives you easier access to public services. What, you mean like becoming Muslim? The card, it gets better, guys. The card helps protect people against identity fraud. The government cares about us. The government cares about our bank balances. Do you know how much they care about our bank balances and our hard work and our blood, sweat and tears? They tax us into oblivion. Now, I just heard from a gentleman who I've never met that apparently this has all been demoed. Test case beta testing, Vietnam, believe he said the 1st of September. 86 million bank accounts were frozen to those who didn't comply. Now, I can't verify the individual. He gave me his time. I spoke to him. You all know I'm at street level. You're welcome, sir. And we very quickly got onto the fact that this is biblical. Any Christians here? In terms of background, guys, national ID, for those of you who don't know, was finally abolished in 1952. Progressivism, modernity, we're going backwards. It was abolished in 1952. You guessed it, it was abolished because populist governments decided it was being viewed as authoritarian and used to crush civil liberties. Guess which politician and which party reintroduced the scheme?
It's always fucking Labour.
Tony Blair and his new Labour, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, for good measure, it is the Tony Blair Institute which has been pushing the idea of digital ID.
And it's also his son's act.
For years as well. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's spot on.
So, we know about good politicians and bad politicians over the years, guys. We know about good decisions and bad decisions. There have been some very few good decisions. But in closing, we all know why we're here. Patriots. The petition was made and it got 100 trillion billion signatures. What's Keir Starmer going to do with that?
Ignore it.
He's going to wipe his ass with it, is what he's going to do. They're laughing at us. Petitions work, pressure works, lobbying works, think tanks work. Here's one for you. The Big Brother Watch have issued a statement strongly urging the government to rethink, and as usual, we the voter, the taxpayer, we remain outraged and no change comes about whatsoever. Now, Ronald Reagan said, "Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid."
We need Ronnie and Maggie.
We need more than Thatcher, mate. We need more than Thatcher. What do we know about the good in Britain, Patriots? Is it afraid? Are the silent majority, the masses, are we afraid? Once again, I am commanded to force you, Patriots, to face the realities about the battle we are in. You cannot convert liberal mindsets, nor communists, nor Islamo-fascists. You cannot convert narcissistic personality disorder, prideful, hardened hearts. You are wasting your time trying to save them. We are also out of time. We also cannot wait for another establishment stooge to disappoint us and sell us out to the highest bidder. If we want our country back, Patriots, we are going to have to take it back. Because, Patriots, you have to fight to keep your freedom. The left always want the government to have more power over our freedoms. The approach of the lefty voter is to do it slowly, over time, accepting that change is indeed slow and often with no shots fired. Indeed, the transfer of power from the people to the government is the incredibly grave matter with which we are now addressing, and why we are here today. And for those of you taking digital ID to the grave, that this is the hill that you die on, this is your campaign, the grave matter that we are discussing is the voluntary offering of our power to the state, unopposed, with no resistance. That's what the message is, and we must confront it. Tell us what you really think, mate. In conclusion, people actually, genuinely, have clapped at the sky, all joking aside. The greatest problem, Patriots, we have is the void of courage and, of course, political apathy and indifference on the socially conservative right. Men and women must stand up and fight. The issue we have, and the key ingredient required to fight back against socialist tyranny, is a single unit point of command on the socially conservative right, simply does not exist. For too long, Patriots and concerned citizens, it simply hasn't been an option available to the socially conservative voters. They have had no one to vote for. How many times have you heard it? I've got no one to vote for. Or if they are registered to vote and they are going to vote, they turn round and say, who did you vote for? And you say, I voted for the least worst option. I promise you, if that mindset stays, if the coward bending of the knee, indifference, apathy stays, the corrupt liberal elite will continue to have their wicked way with us, without so much as flowers and dinner. This is not the end, Patriots. this is just the beginning. What has been trialled again and again is us leaving it to the liberal elites to protect us. How's that worked out, Patriots? How's it worked out leaving the men in suits, the liberal elites, the millionaires and the billionaires? How's that worked out protecting our women and children? How's it worked out protecting our borders? It's failed time and time again. All this does, all the outrage, all the hatred, all it does is serve to further flatten the heart rate of patriots' motivation and willingness to defend their land, their church, their freedoms, their women and children, and I'm absolutely sick of it. Pressure through movements, lobbying and protests, all of these work to inspire people, and I fully endorse this approach. A massive thank you before I close to James, who is so far beyond his years, and activists who are so far beyond their years and who are doing so much more than I was doing at 24, 25, 26, albeit a very different time. Pressure works, and I want to thank good people, you guys, media, influencers, streamers, activists, men like James Harvey. I want to thank you so much, because this message gets sent to our brothers and sisters in the UK who have given up hope, and it reignites hope, and that is what brings the fight and wins the battle. So I fully endorse this approach, but Patriots, you know me, this must all be converted into political action and behind a political party. You cannot take your country back, and you will not take it back without your political party returning a majority in the general election, Patriots. Even after lockdown, if people still do not know their political ideology, and if they still do not know their faith, I am at a loss 5 years on from that awful period as to what to say. But I do know we are fighting for the soul of this nation. There is nothing left but to fight back, Patriots. I am your leader, I am your fighter. I will retrieve your freedoms, and I will punish the traitors who have taken them from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. That was awesome speech.
Well said.
Now, before we bring Now, for those who have followed Nick for years, you may know that he's also the Chief Operating Officer of Turning Point UK. Everyone give them a round of applause. Now, can I bring up David a sec? Now, I'm going to introduce you to our next young speaker, young Bob, who, before he speaks, he wants to introduce something. So everyone give a round of applause for 17-year-old
Go on, Big Bob!
Thank you everyone here today. I think it was deemed appropriate that an organisation that fights for genuine freedom gives a minute for a man who was martyred for it. So could we all give a minute of silence for the one and only Charlie Kirk, who unfortunately had an early passing due to the people that couldn't debate him.
Yeah, we're live. Minute silence.
Well, on Fighting for Freedom, we have a Prime Minister who is in a bit of a muck right now. He was rhetorically on the right to win over reform voters, but when he noticed that wasn't going to win, he needed to be seen as the new Labour leader, this sort of Blairite figure. And the best way of doing that is through introducing and developing on a surveillance state. We currently have two failed projects here in the United Kingdom. The failed project of multiculturalism and the failed project of a surveillance state. The same state that prevents me as a 17-year-old from going on Bible Hub because I need ID verification from a third party that stores my data. The same surveillance state that decided to arrest a 17-year-old twice, once for filming a counter-protest and another for a Section 14 of the Public Order Act. A section that controls when you protest, how you protest and where you protest. Now on my second arrest, whilst halfway through my detention, because they knew it was a trumped up public order offence, they decided to arrest me for a second section, Section 19 of the Public Order Act, which is inciting racial and religious hatred, for saying, deport all economic migrants. Now, if that statement reaches persecution, I don't know what screams like communist China. They originally, under the Conservatives, introduced arbitrarily defined laws to control your civil liberties to protest. Then they began to block explicit material under the guise of protecting young people for pornography. And I can say this anecdotally. Under that legislation, I have not been prevented from looking at explicit material. It is a laughable suggestion that legislation would prevent young people from watching pornography, especially when we have individuals driving along on a bang bus going on about how they're going to have sex with just legally turned 18-year-olds. So we have a state which right now is trying to reform itself as a party that will smash the gangs, even then making the left disenfranchised by a policy that was introduced under New Labour. Then we have on the right our Home Secretary, under the guise of trying to prevent Palestine Action protests, even though a few years ago she was pictured at the very same demonstrations. She is now going to ban reoccurring protests. Everything is being cornered in by the public. Your right to freedom, your right to protest, the right to say whatever you want, and this is the same government which will lose national insurance numbers, then trying to argue that it can introduce digital ID. I will argue this to you, Patriots. Digital ID is an incompetent policy brought in by a man that knows he's losing. But come next general election, who will use that system is up for grabs. So we need to make sure that we vote in for a party that vehemently disagrees with a surveillance state. We need to ensure that young people aren't used as a form of justification for a surveillance state. We need to make sure that our elected politicians aren't the slimy political businessmen that they are. And we need to make sure that we say no to digital ID. And I ensure this, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm on bail until the 30th for 2 charges. And I make sure that regardless of the outcome of those 2 charges, I'll still be here saying whatever the hell I want. Because I believe in a society you should be able to say, unless it incites a degree of violence, whatever the hell you want. And when we have streets that call for a globalized intifada, they decide to pick a 17-year-old who says a very clear message. Deport all economic migrants. I will claim one thing about myself. I'm an activist for freedom of speech, both on the left and on the right. I believe the biggest form of multiculturalism is the multiculturalism of ideas. And the party which triumphs of the party of multiculturalism, instead of educating our young people to teach that very fact, they rather decide to import a bunch of doctors and engineers and then argue that that's our best form of multiculturalism. A society that demonizes our opposition isn't a society of multiculturalism. It's of fascism and of a culture that's trying to import communist China because they're at fear of losing.
Yeah.
The only reason why they'll decide to introduce digital ID is because they know they're at the back end. They know that freedom costs them the general election, so they try to control us. So, if activist organisations continue, if pressure begins to triumph over 10 Downing Street, if protests are consistent, if there's no compliance with digital ID, I promise you, Keir Starmer's reign will come to a very short end. But I always like to end my discussions with an appreciation. If a 17-year-old has to tell you this, you know you're in a real bad state.
Yeah,
so
great.
Thank you so much, have a great day, and God bless you.
Big up, little Bob.
Thank you so much. Oh, come on, give me another round of applause, young Bob. Does anyone remember?
Lurking by school gates. I got fired for the NHS and DHU for racism, so now I'm jobless. I told you on the Twitter space as well, like, what is your message and what would your advice be for those who are struggling with money but still want to join a political party? What would be your message to them?
What is my message to those who are struggling with money but who want to be part of a political party? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why Starmer's in that building just over there is because his party returned a majority of votes in a general election. What does it take to achieve a majority in a general election? It takes an awful lot of money, that's called financing. It takes an awful lot of energy, resource, candidates, men and women putting their name forward to stand as these things what we call candidates in a general election. If you return a majority, you get invited by the king to form a government. That happens with me and my party. We will deliver justice to Britain. We will get justice for the girls. We will begin mass deportations and remigration. We will declare war on far left extremism, the communists in our institutions, the perverts and the degenerates, the Marxists who have subversive malintent on our Christian brothers and sisters, those who are hell-bent on demonising the white man, Christians, those who have subversive intent on everything that we stand for and that build this country. All that for 30 quid a year. Now, if somebody turns around and says, I don't have that, that breaks my heart, and this is a question that's been put to me many times, and I wish there was more that I could do. Unfortunately, my pitch to the British public is, I'm not here to save individuals, I'm here to save the country, and I'm here to reinstate Christianity back into the heart of government. So if you don't have £30 a year, and the classic tactic is to break that down into what that costs a day, which I probably should do at some point, because it's a very powerful sales pitch. But it's peanuts for what you're getting. No more establishment stooges, no more lies, no more flip-flopping. The real deal: mass deportations, remigration, and a wartime leader that's going to see through the blood, sweat and tears, and there will be blood. And no one wanted that on the right. We didn't ask for the war, no one wanted it, by the way. Look at the two-tier policing, look at the two-tier justice, look at the injustice that you've had to suffer, you've even said yourself. What can any one man do to combat that? You need to get back on the wagon as quickly as possible. You need to get the help that you need with regards to the tools, trades, learning, etc. It breaks my heart to hear the story. But if we begin mass deportations and remigration, we also re-engineer society. We set the tone that Britain is for British people. Yeah, everyone has their own country. Every country, regardless of colonialisation and takeover, has their own country, right to self-determination, etc. Not to be taxed into oblivion. I mean, I could think of them all evening, etc. So I don't want you to feel like it's over, and I don't want you to lose hope. But you we need you employed.
Yeah.
And we need to take out the rot. We need to begin mass deportations and remigration, which is going to free up all these jobs. See where I'm going with this, right? It all loops back to mass deportations and remigration. So I don't want you to lose hope or faith, and I'm very sorry to hear that you've been removed from your job. But it's not the first or the last time I'm going to hear that someone's been removed from the colonised NHS, and it is colonised. It's not a weapon of mass destruction, but it is a socialist. It's a
lefty stronghold.
It is a weapon of the state. The NHS in particular is a weapon of the state.
It's gone for like full left wing, like you see people with lanyards, rainbow lanyards.
Listen, there are nurses that have left the NHS who call it a demonic cult. They're the nurses that have left it who aren't even necessarily religious who call it a demonic cult. Those are their words, not mine. But come on. I mean, sycophant at best, possession, Stockholm syndrome at worst. We can't fund the NHS enough. We can't fund it enough. It's the golden cow syndrome. I don't know. It's madness. There's more than enough money for a functioning NHS and a world-class first responsive system. The institutions have been captured. You lost your job.
Yeah.
And no doubt you're a victim as well.
And just to quickly say, then I'll end it, don't worry. In April 2025, I was unfortunately beat up, robbed, and nearly killed by illegal immigrants. And when I said when I didn't kill the names, I didn't call them any racist remarks. The NHS DHU said calling them illegal immigrants is racist. And when I had a bloodied up picture of me in a police report, a clinical staff said, "Don't you think that affects illegal immigrants?"
Keep talking.
And
James, have we got my bags?
And they also said, you need to prove you had a head injury. That's from a clinical staff. I was blooded up with pictures. How am I supposed to prove I have a head injury?
So what I'm going to suggest, sir, is I'm not sure I heard a question there. So look, you've been jumped by what you're saying are invaders.
Yeah.
So listen, it's really simple. If you get jumped by invaders, you've got to make sure that you defend yourself.
Yeah.
We have a right to self-defense. We believe in self-defense, and you've got to give as good as you get. Now, if there's 10 of them and one of you, obviously this is problematic, right? So I'm very sorry to hear all of that. I don't really know where to start with it.
No, that's
it just makes me really sad to hear that, because you're getting a really rough time at the moment. I wish I had something more intelligent to say. That just breaks my heart. But to be fair, you asked me that on the space.
Yeah.
And it does break my heart. If you get jumped by invaders, then you need to defend yourself and you need to take care of it. But I appreciate if you're outnumbered, this becomes problematic.
Yeah, and when I spoke to the NHS about it, why did they do that? And when I was speaking about Charlie Kirk reignited free speech, they laughed at me. On a video call, they laughed at me. I was like...
Yeah. And these people are the so-called the doctors, nurses, again, the coveted NHS. They're... Well, I won't say anything more about it because it's problematic. But Randall, listen.
Thank you for.
We need you employed.
Yeah.
We need you employed, doing whatever as quickly as possible, mate. And I wish you all the best with that.
I mean, if you have any jobs that you can, I'd be happy to join.
I wish.
In Birmingham, maybe. I don't know.
1 second, Emma.
Okay, no worries.
So what happened to you at the migrant hotel?
Huh?
So what happened at the migrant hotel? What happened with the migrants?
So in April 2025, I was beat up, robbed and nearly killed by illegal immigrants.
Where was that? In Birmingham?
Birmingham in Dudley High Street.
Okay, what happened?
So I was helping a homeless woman because I was a bit down on my luck that day. So I was like, all right, I'll just give her something.
Sorry, mate.
I'll see you in Whitechapel, maybe.
Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, try and get to Whitechapel.
Keep up the good work, you as well, mate. I hope your arm's better after that knife. So you were.
Yeah, so I was helping a homeless woman.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit down on my luck that day. I was like, you know what, let's help someone less fortunate.
Yeah.
She said someone else needed help. There was no one there. That person sucker punched me, and I landed up in the alleyway.
Yeah.
And then they beat me up, robbed me, and nearly killed me. Luckily, I don't know how I survived. It's nuts. But then the NHS DHU, they defended the attacker, saying, "Why are you calling them illegal immigrants? Don't you think that tarnishes their reputation?" I'm like, I worked for you at the time. I was the one who was attacked. What do you mean?
So the NHS you work for didn't defend you in that situation. They'd rather defend the illegal migrants because of the rhetoric of the left liberal system. Basically, what's happened in it.
Yep.
Shocking.
That's why I'm trying to build myself up so I could be like a speaker at this or at any point. Because like I said, I've lost my job. I'm glad I got this megaphone. Maybe I can start with that. But yeah, I've lost my job.
So did you lose your job over getting beaten up, or was it over an opinion?
So there was what I got fired for. Apparently, they used that what I said as a way to get me out that I'm racist.
Yeah.
They also said there was pretty much, so there was a grown man lurking outside of school gates. I said, what's going on there? You know, because that's suspicious. I've literally asked anyone, that's suspicious. And they turned to me and they were like, that's racist, you're just a racist. And Shireel, autistic paedophile, retarded paedophile, got me fired.
Okay, now, ridiculous.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm so glad he said that, because I'm like, I've literally sent it to, do you know, have you heard of Restore Britain?
Yeah. Rupert's.
Yeah. I literally sent all the details, all the Google Drive. Probably should have asked Nick, but he's probably busy because he's independent. Yeah, I've literally sent that to UKIP. I'm probably going to send it to GB News, send it everywhere I can, into any right-wing party, because that's disgusting.
I'll post your little story on my platforms there then as well.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm DP Audits, by the way. That's Bear Britain Audits as well.
DP Audit. Are you on Instagram or?
All of them, all platforms.
Actually, I'll make it. You know, I'll make a note of it because my Instagram's been a bit weird. What was it called again? Sorry.
I'm DP Audits, Delta Papa Audits.
Oh, DP
Audits, and that's Bear Britain, as in BARE.
BARE.
Yeah, Bear, then space, Britain,
and then Audits. But check us out, we're always fighting in this fight, man. We're with you. We understand where you're coming from. What you've just said there for me is shocking, so I probably will post that. So keep an eye on there. But it's important that, and thanks for turning up as well.
Yeah.
We get a lot of heat where people say it's just a white people thing, but clearly
no, it isn't.
And you are the example where integration can work in the right way. Obviously, your family's come over years ago. You've integrated. You're as British as me and Bear.
Yeah.
But the new set of people coming over, I believe, they're not going to integrate like the people have come in the past. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's causing a lot of problems economically and spiritually with the people in this country. You're flooding too many people too quick.
Yeah. Like, I always use the example, I think Charlie uses, or Ben Shapiro, I'm not sure. He's literally said, the thing with illegal immigration, for example, if you break into a house and still do nothing, that's still a crime. They're breaking into the country.
Yeah.
This is what they don't understand. And what I don't get is like the whole gays for Gaza crap. Like, they would literally chuck you off a damn roof. What are you doing?
No, it's like me saying to you, someone's going to come and break into your house and you're going to have to feed them and clothe them and you're going to do it and you're going to be a good boy about it. You ain't going to do it, are you? Do you know what I mean?
British people need to be put first. Why is it only English countries that have to be diverse? Like, look at Japan.
Diversity means basically anti-white in a sense.
Yeah, Japan's stopping them.
Japan's had enough. Greece have had enough. Germany have had enough.
Yeah.
Don't want to make the Germans go right wing. We know where that fucking leads. Do you know
I'd rather fucking move to Poland. You know Dominic Tosinski.
Yeah.
He's got the right idea. Like, fucking stop the boats. Like, what the fuck? Border control works. I don't understand, and they want to do digital ID to try and stop
immigration at the right level of numbers. I'd say circa around 50,000 net a year would be fine if it would have stayed at that level from Blair. We wouldn't even be in this predicament or conversation right now.
Yeah, like Sadiq Khan, like his parents probably came over here. This is what they're doing. Yeah, look at all the government at the moment. It's all like Muslims, and that's not me being racist. That's me saying that's literally look with open your eyes. Like, they come here, they get children as fast as possible.
Keep it up, big up your chest.